Okay, so we're live. We're live on recording actually. I want to get this update out. It is right now it's actually 6:16 p.m. 9/25, 2025. I can't believe it's already the end of September. What happened to September? Anyways, let me hold on a second. I'm gonna Sure, I'll play an intro and then I'll be right back. Let me pull up some maps and keep this quick, short. Just want to go over the tropics really quick. Um, Let me do this and I'll be right back. All right, so let's get right to it. I was going to do something this morning. Things just didn't turn out that great. So let's pull up some maps here. Um, so if you guys were with me a few days ago, we went over the uh, update on Gabrielle, which is basically an extra tropical storm right now up here in the northern Atlantic here, heading on a beeline to the Azores right there. This is Umberto here. This formed a couple days ago as a tropical storm. It looks like it's getting much better organized here in the central Atlantic. And then here's the other system that I'm more interested in here. And it's looking pretty good today. This is say the Eastern Caribbean here, and it's going to emerge out over the open Atlantic here in the next couple of days. And the consensus is out a little bit on what's going to happen with this here. But Umberto is here. Well, let me. Whoops. How to get. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let me get. So here's Umberto here. It's looking pretty good. Still getting a little bit of shear here off to the north, but you're seeing some banding here. Some outflow, pretty good. Center circulation is right about in there somewhere. Let me, and here's this other system down here. This is going to be this might be a problem here once it emerges over the Atlantic here. Let's, and then there's another cluster of storms here. Well, just kind of emerged off of the coast of Africa here the last day or so. But this here, from what I can see right now, it doesn't really have too much going for it. But we'll keep an eye on it anyways. Let me throw some longitude and latitude lines up in here. So yeah, this is it looks pretty good. Umberto is going to be a major storm once it gets into here, but Umberto's probably going to be a fish story here. It's probably going to curl around the high ridge here. See the ridge of high pressure right here, so it's going to go around this here, and we'll see what happens with this storm here, because like I said, the census right now is kind of out on this, and there's nothing in the Gulf whatsoever right now. But within the next couple of weeks or so, usually this time of the year here, the Atlantic starts to get a little bit less active, and then we start looking over here in the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico here. Sometimes off the coast of the Carolinas here, you can get something here. Anyways, let's go to a different map here. I want to go back. While we're here, we'll get the water vapor imagery here. Like I said, I'm not going to be here too long. So you can see, if you guys have been following me over this here, this whole dry air patch here has been pretty prevalent, but right now it's kind of sebated a little bit. So you got Umberto here, walling itself off pretty good from all of this dry air here. You got this system here, and you can definitely see the high ridge of pressure here for sure. Uh, so everything's going to kind of go around this here, and there's a front that's coming off the coast here. In the next few days, there's going to be a high ridge of pressure building off across the eastern part of the United States, and that's probably going to prevent this from going north. Um, but we'll keep an eye on it. We got a low level swirl here in the Gulf. And then there's all of these clusters here that doesn't show too much here, but you never know. It's a little bit south here, anyways. All right, so let's go quickly to uh, shut this down here. Uh, Second, I'll go back into the maps here. Okay, so here's a good imagery of tropical storm Humberto here. And you can see it's much better organized today than it was yesterday. So here's the latest advisory. Humberto continues to strengthen over the central Atlantic, expected to become a hurricane tomorrow as of 5 p.m. Thursday, September 25th, the center of Humberto was located 21.9, 57.0 with movement northwest at about 6. So this is it's almost stationary here at this point, 6 miles an hour. It's waiting to see what's going on with this. It's basically trying to figure out what this high pressure is going to do, and then it's going to go around that. Pressure's down now. It was at 1,008 yesterday. Now it's down to 1,000. So you can tell it's starting to get a little bit better organized, and the wind speeds are up to 60 miles an hour. They'll probably fly something out here fairly shortly to get, if they haven't already. But that's pretty much going to be it. We'll take a look at the density here. So you can see some, clusters starting to form around the center here. You can see that billowing right there. That's telling me that that's getting better organized. So the system that I'm more concerned with here for any type of landfalling hurricane here, and it's this system right here. Um, you guys are crazy. All right. Let me try to get a better. Let's see here. Sorry, my computer's really slow right now. It doesn't load that for some reason. Okay, so let's back here. Make sure I'm. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, you can definitely see that this Berto is really starting to get nice. It's see this shear here to the north, though, but it's going to go around that. So once it gets over into closer to the coast here, going to start to really get into this water here. All right, so let's get out of this here. Stop sharing that, and we'll go to. Okay, so here we go. There's Gabrielle right there. It's tropical at this point. It's pretty much, you know, just a low level swirl here. It'll continue to weaken as it gets into these cooler waters here. Here's our Umberto here, and we'll go with the path here. This is the projected path here. This could change, but it's been fairly solid the last few days or so here on what this is going to do. So Tomorrow about 2 p.m., you're probably going to see it might even become a hurricane before that, but hurricane, minimal hurricane here, and then it's going to get into what they call major hurricane status. Um, Here, once it gets into warmer waters here and gets away from some of these westerlies here, and then it's going to basically curve out to sea, basically be a fish story. But you might get some, you know, pretty decent waves here along the coast, all the way down to Florida here. They'll probably get some alerts here for high seas, rip currents, and stuff like that. But it's following the same path as kind of Gabrielle did. So some of this water here is getting churned up here a little bit with some of these storms that are coming over. It's getting cooler water to the surface, but we'll check that. So here's the location here. This is as of 5 p.m. This is the fifth advisory on Umberto. And the next system would be I. I don't know what the name is. So if this system here forms, it would be I. Center's location 21.9 north, 57.0 west. And its maximum sustained winds. This is for Umberto here, 60 miles an hour. And it's basically stationary. It's not moving much. It's waiting to see what's going on with this high pressure here. All right, so let's rip currents here. I guess we can do that if there's any. So you got rip currents here from this system here, moderate, high, all the way up to New England here. If you're out in the water here in New Hampshire and Maine, you might want to see somebody because it's frigid water here. And then all the way down to the coast here. But as this pushes north here, you're going to see some of these start to increase here. The water's here. Like if you want to see some high surf, this is the time to go to the beach, though. All right, so that's the rip current tomorrow. We can do tomorrow. So there's that. And then as the days progress here, this will get even worse. Less, obviously. Okay, so I'll get out of that. I do want to go here, get a forecast. Actually, let's get sea surface temperatures here. So the water here is pretty warm. You get around, the Caribbean here, the Leeward Islands here, it's definitely warm enough to support tropical storm, hurricane stuff. 30, which is about 85. But once you start getting more north than that, it starts to get really cool here, and that's why once these systems get past the jet stream here, they start to weaken, cool off. But it's I just wanted to check the water temperatures here, and they're still pretty good. So the fuel is there for sure. So let's go to the forecast here. Somebody's alarm is going off. All right, let's do the GFS first. I can't get that right now. We'll do the 7 here. All right, so here's Umberto here, and you can see the next couple of days it's going to become a hurricane here, and then it's going to become a major hurricane here, and it's going to basically just go right around this high pressure system. There's a Gabrielle that's heading up to the European continent here. And here's this other system here that's kind of trickling up through these islands here, the Bahamas here, and it's gonna. Let's keep starting this here. This is by Sunday. So Sunday, this is I want to say probably a tropical storm here at that point. And then once it gets over the open Atlantic here, into the jet stream, it's going to start to pick up in intensity here. And here's Umberto here. So at this point on Sunday, this other system is more north than Umberto. That's strange. Um, and this is why I'm a little worried about this system here because it seems like it's taking a more northwesterly turn than and this is Monday. So Umberto is kind of in this parallel here that it's going to kind of you know uh not be too much of an issue here. So this is by Monday. So this has this going. This we're gonna have to watch this. This is these are the Carolinas here. So this is the American model here. So um, this looks like it wants to take this inland here. Not saying that that's going to happen, but this is definitely having this kind of go more west than previously thought here. So here's Umberto here. This will just take a quick right here and get out of here. Um, and then this system here. So let's go. This is the combination here of computer models here. No, don't forget that these are forecast models, so these can change, especially this system here, because it's not really, you know, not really a system yet. But these are forecasted paths here. So, but this will emerge. This will become more than likely become the next storm here after Humberto, unless something down here forms. But this looks a little bit more promising here. So this is Monday, which is my birthday, the 29th. So here's Humberto, and this is this other system here. And the consensus right now is by Monday, 30 north here. 30 with 77 west. Um, and that's the consensus right now. So it's going to be right in this parallel here. And then most of these systems here have this pushing into either, I think that's North Carolina there, North Carolina, Carolina, somewhere in, I think that's Myrtle Beach right there, somewhere in here. So if you're say north of Jacksonville here, all the way up to the Delmar Peninsula, uh, here, even into the east and northern New England, I'd pay attention to this for sure. And there's something trying to form down here. And then you have some of these spaghetti plots trying to take this out, more out. It could kind of get caught up in the wake of Umberto here. Normally, this time of the year, when you have two systems like this side by side, you have Umberto here and this other system here. The stronger one usually prevails, but that's not always the case. I've seen it where these systems get steered by currents, and if this high pressure stays pretty solid here or weakens a little bit, this system here could quickly depart here, or weaken or whatever. And then this system here will be the dominant system here. But I think these are too far apart for them to really significantly impact each other, but we'll see. All right, so that's it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out of here. I'll try to come back on here either tomorrow morning or but like I said, if you live, say Jacksonville north on the eastern seaboard all the way up to New England, I'd be careful of this one here. But I'll do another update at some point as it warrants. But that's going to do it for me. Back out of this here. And I'll try to upload this as soon as I can to get some information out there. All right. So thank you guys very much. I'll see you guys later, and salute. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys uh, late Saturday night, early Sunday morning for our True Crime Live. So everybody take care.